Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another stream. Monday afternoon, or sorry, Tuesday afternoon. I keep thinking it's Monday. This yesterday was Merry Christmas. And we're checking out the new beta release of X-Plane 11.20. This is the long-awaited release with X-Plane, what we call native VR. And I wanted to hang out with it a little bit today and just play around with it. I've been playing around with it for, I guess it's about a week now. It was part of the private beta. Aki, how you doing? You don't have touch controllers, so VR won't work. Yeah. Well, it will work, you just can't get into it. I agree that's a problem. When I first got the private beta, it's the first thing I noticed, obviously, and you know, using Fly Inside, so used to using the mouse, and not having that mouse capability really hinders you when you're flying. You can't really control everything on the instrument panel. You keep bumping your touch into your yoke if you've got a physical yoke or even a HOTUS or whatever, and made it pretty clear to, I mean, listen, those guys at Laminar have been great through the whole beta process. They're listening, they're interested in feedback. I think it's very, very good, but the reality is that those who fly an X-Plane to try to mimic real life, like in Pilot Edge and other stuff, you need access to the mouse because you just have to have that. So in any event, I think we're going to get it. I think the outcries are going to be loud enough. I suggest, you know, sending an email to the folks at Laminar, just let them know how you feel about it in a nice way. And I think the more people that ask for it, the better chance it's going to happen. But my suspicion is that it will. There's certain things, you know, VR is new, but it's, you know, using the mouse, I guess, would be old by X-Plane standard because they like to go all the way of touch, but I think the mouse is going to be around for a long time, and using it as an input is important. So I would suspect we're going to see that, and my guess is we may see that. This is a pure guess. I don't know for sure. But my guess is that we'll probably see that in like one of the earlier point releases of this beta. So anyway, I feel your pain, man. If I didn't have touch controllers, I'd be really bummed right now, but I do. A touch controller, you can see right here. Actually, I have two of them, so I'm able to use it. You can see it on the screen there. I'm waving it up there. You can see it in the what you're looking at now is Oculus Mirror, which is if you're familiar with Oculus Rift, there's a utility that you have in your Oculus folder called Oculus Mirror. It's an exec file that enables you to mirror a composite of both eyes. X-Plane 11's VR implementation is a little different. It mimics, let me just bring this up here if I can. This is what it looks like in X-Plane. Okay, it's a single eye view, and that's what they do for their desktop mirroring. And I think it's mainly for optimization. But thankfully to Oculus Mirror and the PC that I have, I'm able to handle the full composite, so which I think gives people looking in 2D a better view. How do you fly a stick and have a controller in your hand? Well, this is how I do it, right? So I'll have my. You don't really need to use this all the time, okay? And if you have the mouse, you definitely won't need to use it all the time. But I would fly one-handed here and have this here when you need to. But I mean, if you're using a HOTUS with a stick and a throttle, I could see exactly what you're saying. You only have two hands, so I don't really think that Laminar thought that out well enough. I think they might have been thinking that people could just use the touch controllers to fly. And I've tried the fly planes with a touch controller. The Ultralight's very easy because it's easy to fly and it goes slow, but when you get into any plane with speed and you try to fly with this thing, holding the yoke in a virtual way, it's not optimal. It's just not optimal. So, in any event, I think they're going to get it right. You have to remember that this is a preview. It's a preview, so they're not going to get everything right with the first preview. I think the things that they did it looks amazing. It's definitely an improvement over flying sides visuals for sure, because you don't have that second layer of reprojection. The frame rates are going to vary. I'm going to show you this in a second. The frame rates are going to vary depending on which plane you're flying and where. Like right now I'm in Key West, okay? And I find in Key West I can have visuals and textures on high, and I'm still getting 45 to 50 frames per second. If I'm in Seattle, I have to go down to medium because I'm basically overburdening whatever. X-Plane just can't produce it or whatever. I think it's an X-Plane issue. So it really depends on where you are, and what I find is the happy medium for me is medium. If I have textures on medium and visuals on medium in the X-Plane graphics configuration, that seems to be the best for everything. So, you know, you got to remember, as you're flying around the map, if you're going to fly a 200-mile flight, let's say, you're going to be in different areas. So one area might have, you know, different frame rates than the other. It seems that way. So you've got to find a set. You can't go changing your settings in the middle of a flight. That'd be a total pain in the ass. So you have to find a setting that's going to be optimal for everything. And I think that's going to be medium. But for today, let me just show you here. Got my touch controller. We're going to go menu. We're going to go flight config. And if I go to the settings, you can see I've got visual effects on high, texture quality high. Okay, objects I left at low, reflection details minimum. Oh, anti-aliasing. I need to bring that up. I'm going to bring that up to 4. Let's see what that does. Get inside the plane. And I'm getting, ooh, as soon as I turn on anti-aliasing, my frame rates went down quite a bit. So let me just see something here. I'm going to bring this to, let's go to 2. And now we're at 45. Okay. So you want to make it that magic number of 45. And what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at, look at the desktop. Upper left-hand corner, the blue, that's the Laminars or X-Planes frame rate. That 45 up in the corner, that's the key number that you need. You need to have it around 45, because basically what it's doing is it's multiplying that, reprojecting it into the Oculus at 90 frames per second. Moving my head around here, you can see, well, you guys might see a little bit of black on the edges there because that's Oculus mirror. But in the headset, I don't see any black on the edges. As I move my head, there's no judder or anything. So that's what you want, all right? And at high settings, man, everything is so legible. Like, even the smaller print, I mean, I have to lean in a little bit to read it, but I would probably have to do that in real life, unless I was wearing my reading glasses when I was flying. But everything's very, very crisp and legible and bright, I should say. So, anyway. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right, so you see we're on high here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of flight here around Key West here. Let me set my, now I don't have, you see, I'm used to having like plane command and all that stuff. Now I don't have that now. So I'm going to go to take my touch control. I'm going to take the heading and I want to set my bug. Actually, I should be able just to press it. There you go. I could press that and now my heading is set to 95095, but I can actually click and I can see I'm just twisting my wrist, and that moves the bug, which is really a nice movement. Okay, so I can set that to 9.5. Then I can go down to my altimeter, and I can change that. Let's say if I want to go up to 5,000 or whatever, and the increments are manageable. So And I have complete control over everything. Let me just press this little flight plan button, and my flight plan comes up on the PFD. But again, the problem I have here, as we spoke about a few minutes ago, is that, you know, when I'm trying to get something in the virtual cockpit, I'm bumping my Oculus Touch on my yoke, which is no good. If I had the mouse, I could get, there's all these little buttons back behind here and stuff, like my lights and stuff. I mean, I can get to those, but now I'm touching, what am I touching? Touching the top of my yoke, so I can't really get down and turn on the pitot heat if I want to. I mean, I can, but I have to like sneak in here. If I want to turn on the avionics, just the dimming and stuff, or if I want to get down, I can't get down to my my key there because it's blocked by my desk. So having a mouse is going to be is an absolute necessity for those of us who fly with physical things in the cockpit. If you're just going to fly with touches and you want to sit back, which I've done before, I've moved back and only fly with the touches, it's fine. Okay, there's nothing going to be in the way. But when you have physical things in the way, it's just impossible. So in any event, touch is very movable. Now we got this menu here. So what if we do if we hit the just the A button, I guess it is. I think it's the A button. Just see which one it is. Sorry, if I hit the B button, that brings up this little flower, which is a menu, and you got get in the pilot seat, which puts me back right into this 3D position. Flight config brings me back to the menu. This is pauses it. This is a replay. The replay is very good in VR. It's excellent. Views, so I can change my views, and then advanced menu. Okay, so these are all the functions that I can do with my menu system, all accessible, and I just hit that B button to get rid of that. Now you have to have that menu put away if you want to touch anything in the cockpit. You see, nothing will light up if I got that menu set up there. So now here's my X pad, and I can click on this. Now show it. Now this has been a little bit funky for me. Let me just grab that. Okay. You can see it's showing like wind direction, and it's not really. It's kind of covered on where now it is showing me in Key West. It looks like, but the wind direction is kind of messed up. So I've actually reported a bug on this, and this looks like an iPad Mini. This only functions right now as a representation of the X-plane map, so you can't bring a external window into this, but it does look pretty cool, and you can mount it right there like that. Or if I wanted to, I could. Well, see, I can't do it because my yoke's in the way. I can't get to the mounting position. That's why you need a mouse. All right, so let's put that there. Now, there is an application, VR app called V, that allows you to bring external windows into the virtual VR environment. I've tried to use it with X-Plane 11 VR 11.20, and it doesn't work. There's a couple of things else a couple other things I'm gonna try to see if I can make that work. Not hopeful, but I'm gonna let Laminar know about that app, because that might be a really easy way to pull windows into, external windows into the cockpit. All right, if they can work with the V application, that's something that we might be able to get quickly. So in any event, right now, no external windows. Now that's important because you might want to have ForeFlight in the window, or for me, if I'm streaming on Twitch, it would be nice to have chat in the window. Hey Wood, how you doing? Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. Rosso, hey, thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate it. We're just checking out 11.20. So yeah, so you really you want to try to stay in the headset as long as possible without having to pop out of it, obviously during a flight. So if you have ForeFlight on an external window, that would be helpful. If I had chat on an external window, that would be helpful. Other things, you could probably list a dozen things that you'd want to have in the cockpit with you. So I think it's really going to be important to have that external window capability, and maybe V will solve that problem. We shall see. Right now it doesn't, but maybe someday it will. All right, so now I want to check out the advanced menu. Let's see, file, flight, system view. Okay, so this is all like, I see. Okay, so that's just basically it looks like I can get to my plugins quickly. I can get to my flight information and get the file information, the view. So advanced just gets you like to a quick shot to these particular menus. Let's just click that and see what happens. Oops. Go there, and let's go to plugins and see what happens. That didn't work. Plug in. Oh, plug in admin. Okay, let me go back. I moved the mouse to the. I moved the joystick to the right. There you go. So I could change all my views. Okay. And I just moved the joystick on the touch. Okay, I'm just moving that. It just shows me the G1000 flight. All right, I can talk. That looks like the pretty standard X-plane menu. And file. I could take a screenshot, which is cool. Do that and see. I want to see what that. How does that work? Let me just hit. Maybe I took a screenshot. I'll check later. So that's just a quick access to that menu. Now let's change. Let's take a look at teleporting. So what I can do is I've got this up here, and I just click down. Oh, let me get rid of the menu. I click down. Where am I? Let me go outside here. Why won't it let me go outside? Oh, there we go. I click down on the joystick button. Let me just stay. I want to stay in here for now. And then I'm going to see if I can get... There we go. I'm going to get outside here. I rotate it, and that red line I want pointing to which way I want to face. Okay? So now I got my teleport on. So let me just get right here. I'm looking at this plane, and it is totally realistic in size. Totally realistic in size. It looks incredible, and I can see the rivets. It just looks incredible. And I can basically bounce around anywhere I want. So I can go over here... Look at the back of the plane. I can go over here. The side of the plane. I can look over. There's a Baron over there. I want to go take a look at the Baron. I can go over here and take a look at the Baron. Not Baron, sorry. It's a King Air. Pretty cool. But I'm not flying that guy. He looks like an AI pilot. So just switch over here. And go back to my Cessna. Oops, crap. Now, if I want to, I can actually go up the runway here. I can go all the way to the hangars over here. I could just basically check out the airport. So if I want, there's the tower over there. If I want to go next to this fuel truck, the Isuzu fuel truck, there's a jet over there, and I'm going to have to find my way back now. So I'm going back this way now to get back to my plane. I could probably just go like this. Oops, let me just go like this. Bring the menu up, and I can go. Now I'm back in the plane. So that's a quick way to get back to the plane. So teleporting is very cool. You know, if you want to simulate pre-flight inspections, you can do that. You can actually stand up and kneel down and look. It really is incredible. So. Hey Ron, how you doing? Click on view. Which view? Oh, you mean view? You want to see the view? Let's see if I can go here and I go to view. This just basically changes your view from ride along, okay, which is right here. It's kind of a cool view, okay. Or I can go to chase, okay, or I can go to that's pilot view. I can go to that guy. It's weird looking, okay, or I can go to tower. That's kind of weird. All right. Or I get back into the pilot seat. Now what I have is this button right here. I've got this button bound to 3D view, 3D pilot view. So what you find in here is you want to always keep yourself centered in the right place in the plane. So if I find myself over here like off kilter, okay, I could just click that button and I get right back into space, okay. The other thing is on the hat switch. Now this used to happen with flying side a lot. I would find myself, for some reason the view would shift downward. I had to lift myself up. It hasn't happened to me in the native VR yet, but I can actually, I have the hat switch set up so I can go up, down, left, or right. So if I want to just come over here to the left side of the plane rather than use, you could teleport in here, but it's kind of a tight situation. And sometimes on the bigger planes, you need to get over here to look at an instrument or something. It's just easy, just go boom and you get over there, Okay, so I recommend that if you have a hat switch on your yoke, you set that up for up, down, left, right. All right, so that gets you around the plane a little bit better. So those are some of the tricks. So yeah, so again, what's very nice is that, like right now I'm at high settings because I'm in Key West, and I think that's because there's a lot of water around Key West. But we're going to see when I haven't taken off here yet. It's the first time I'm flying here. I'm going to take off here, just fly a quick pattern, and we're going to see what it's like. I'm going to fly with the yoke. I'm not going to fly with the touch. Okay, so we can. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I've got my little. This is a little touch holder that my brother-in-law printed out for me in 3D, which is really nice. This is a nice way to hold your touch controller. Let's see. Have you installed any add-ons, and can you load the default? I'm gonna bring the 373 in. See if you can teleport to the passenger seat. I think you can. I have not added any add-ons. This is a vanilla system that, or I should say install that I have. It's specifically for beta. So there's no add-ons. Now I do have some ortho installed, but I have it shut off. Okay, I have it shut off so that we're only using static, or I should say standard, what do you call it, scenery. NATO B, how you doing, man? I'm not gonna be able to check that out yet. Key West International. Actually, I have that already. I'm not sure if it will work. I don't have any. I haven't put any custom scenery. This is the standard scenery. I do have Key West in my normal install. I'm going to start to play with that stuff once I think once that they get back the they come out maybe with the first update to this beta to make sure some of the nastier bugs are cleaned up. And I got to tell you, knock on wood, I haven't come across many nasty bugs. So I'm pretty lucky there. But in any event, what are the chat rules? You can look in the below just scroll down. You can see the chat rules. I'd rather you not post stuff in there, but if it's a relevant topic, that's fine.
Flight 209er clear for Vector 324.
Nate, how you doing?
Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
I love that scene. Thanks for follow. I appreciate that. I do. Balance, how you doing? For me, it's interesting how click buttons down in the aircraft. You know, knob or switch works with touch. Yeah, so I'll do that a little bit. I was doing that before. So basically, what you do is you got your touch controller here, okay? And I'm going to take the heading bug here, and you can watch as I turn my wrist, the heading bug moves, okay? And that works like that with pretty much every switch. This is the, right now it really works with the standard X-plane planes. Like this is the Cessna, standard Cessna with a G1000 in it. But I could take the altimeter control, and I can control that. I can click on here and bring up the FPS, or sorry, the flight plan. I can manipulate my autopilot. I can change the comm, the radio frequencies on the comm. So that's all very nicely done. Like I said, the problem though is that if I want to get something down here, I bump into my yoke. So we really need sort of mouse support. So that's basically how you work with the touch. If I want to, I don't need to put my flaps down. Boom, I just put my flaps down to take off, okay? And if I want to grab the mixture, oh, crap. I just put my mixture all the way out. Let me grab my throttle. Okay. And I get a little feedback in the touch control, like it's vibrating a little bit, okay? And if I want to grab the yoke, now the way this works is, to me this is kind of counterintuitive to what you would expect it to be. I would expect that you grab the yoke and you move your hand up and down or back and forth to control pitch and banking, right? So, but that's not how it works. So if you grab this onto it and I click on to the trigger button, now I've got control of the yoke, okay? And hopefully you guys can see this. And let me just look down here so you guys can definitely see it. So if I want to pitch the plane, what I do is, let me move hopefully you can see the touch controller. What I do is I put my wrist up, I tilt my wrist back and forward like that to pitch, okay? If I want to turn the plane, I twist my wrist like this, okay? Now, it kind of mimics what you would see in a stick in a plane, like if you were flying a plane that had a stick in it, if you think about it. So it makes, at first it didn't make any sense to me, but it makes sense from that perspective. So, you know, some may want the up and down thing. It doesn't work that way. You tilt your hand like that, or you twist your wrist like that, and that's how you control the plane. Now, I did try to do some patterns with this plane at an airport that I'm very familiar with, and it was a little tricky, okay, to get used to that. It would be great when they refine things to give you some sensitivity control so that the movements aren't as large, so you have smaller movements, because it is a little bit tricky to control it with a touch, but you have that ability. Personally, I'm going to be using a yoke to control it, because to me that's more like real life. I mean, you're never going to use an Oculus Touch or a Vive motion controller in a real airplane to control an airplane. You could use a yoke, right? So that's why I'm going to be using that. Hopefully that shows it. Let me see what other questions you guys have here. I don't see how your stream isn't that popular today. Well, thanks, Nate. I appreciate that. You think the mouse would be better for flight? I totally agree with you, Valens. Totally agree with you. Do you want any GFX made for your stream? Oh, GFX? I mean graphics? No, I'm good, man. I appreciate that. I kind of do my own graphics. Right now I've got pretty simple graphics because I want to be able to you guys to see everything here, but I usually have something with a map and stuff up. But I appreciate the offer, I really do. Anyway, let me get on with a flight here. So I'm going to put my touch controller down. Okay, I'm using yoke and pedals. Okay, and we're going to take a little, do a little pattern here at Key West. Okay, so right now you can see right now the remnants of my touch controller is at my speed indicator. That's not good. I'm just gonna, you know, here it is. I'm just gonna move it back a little bit. Okay, there you go. All right. So now one thing, you know, aside from VR, I noticed about the G1000. You see the little speed indicator right there? It's black. It takes a little while for that speed to come in. Okay, so that's something they have to fix. Now I'm looking at. I want to show you again. I want to show you this again here. So let me just bring up the desktop mirror. Look in the upper left and you can see the frame rates are 45. That's where you want things to be, around 45 or above. Because what's going to happen in the Oculus is it's going to, or X-Plane is going to put that in Oculus, use its software to reproject that or multiply it to 90 frames per second. Because you have to have 90 frames per second in the Oculus Rift. Otherwise, you'll probably throw up. Or you'll get, if it goes below 40 in X-Plane, or, you know, I shouldn't say 40, but if it goes into the 30s in X-Plane, you'll start to get judder. And judder is no good because it starts to make you feel a little bit woozy. Anyway, right now, luckily, we're at high settings and we're not getting any judder. So I want to remember that at Key West, I can fly with high settings, which is cool. All right, so let's get our... We're cranking up our... Get over here. Oops. Okay, and we're going to release the brakes, and here we're off. Ooh, nice. It's so smooth. And again, this is high settings, all right? Now I'm running a pretty beefy PC. My CPU isn't that beefy. It's an i7-6700, and there we go. We just floated off there because we got the what do you call it? So the flaps up. I just put my flaps up. I'm going to trim down here a little bit. Nice and smooth. It feels so realistic. Turning my head and looking, I don't see any judder at all. Oh, get my flaps up. Let's make our left crosswind turn. Now, I tell you one thing, in the higher settings, you definitely pick up the scratches in the window. I never saw those scratches in the window and fly inside on the windshield. I never saw them before. So that's right there, definition that I've never seen before. Probably a good indicator. Now I'm looking through the haze of this window, so if I stick my head out the window, it gets really super clear. It's kind of cool. All right, so let's make our downwind, left downwind turn. Now we just had a little bit of a flip there. But still, everything's nice and smooth. I haven't seen any judder, and again, I'm on high settings. High visuals, high texture. But I'm on low real-world objects. This is standard scenery. Wow, really good. It is a lot clearer and than what I'm used to with flying side for sure. This is the first time I've ever flown at high resolution without judder. Usually it's at medium, and high resolution looks incredible. Wow. All right, so we're at 1,000 feet, pattern altitude. Let's make our left base turn. All right, here's our left base turn. Now I'm gonna move myself down here. I'm a little high in the seat, right? So now let's make we'll make our final. Hopefully we're not going too fast, so I'm gonna hit my flaps. Might just buzz the field here. Let's just do that. The other thing, and I tried to explain this in one of my videos, or maybe I don't know, I've answered so many questions about this in the last couple of days. It's hard to remember where I did it, but I want to tell you that the field of view in X-Plane Native VR seems to be wider than I'm used to with flying side. It's hard to explain. There is a field of view setting in X-Plane, so maybe the reprojection of flying side messes with that a little bit, or you know, I don't know, but it just seems to me like I've got more of a view, more of a field of view, more peripheral vision, even though I'm limited by the Oculus Rift, which is 110-degree field of view. It still seems to be like wider, if you will. All right, sorry guys, I can't see chat right now, so you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna just do one more lap here and then I'll land her, and we can talk a little bit more. So that's my crosswind turn. I know I'm below pattern altitude, but there's nobody in this world right now, so I'm the only one in the whole world here, so I don't have to worry about FAA. All right, there's our downwind turn. I'm just flying with flaps so I can land quickly here. Map is legible. Even the small text, I mean, you know, it's a little bit fuzzy, but I lean in and I could read it easily. And you know, if you've flown this G1000, that text is small. All right, so make our base turn here. Now, I just put up a video, top 10 questions about this 11.20 release. If you're new to it, I really strongly suggest you check that out. I tried to answer the top 10 questions I've seen over the last 2 days about this release, and hopefully that'll help people out rather than have to answer them over and over again. They're pretty common questions, but some interesting stuff that you guys might be interested in. Let me put this baby down here now. You could never do this in 2D. This kind of bank and this kind of approach. All right, I'm gonna go down here. We're gonna flare her up. Not the prettiest landing, but the point is I want to get on the ground, so let's do that. Let me got her center lined. Oops. All right, that'll work. That'll work. Let's. All right, let's stop here for a second. Now I can't use plane command, and I can't reach my parking brake because it's behind my yoke. So that's one of the problems with not having the mouse, right? I have to use a touch controller. Here's my touch controller. I can't get down there because, number one, my sensor is above my desk and it's blocking the view to that parking brake, so I can't turn the parking brake on, unfortunately. So that's a problem. That's why we need a mouse. Let me see what you guys have to say here. A lot of questions. Let's see. Go back and chat here. Do you think they may simulate a hand instead of copying the touch controller? I don't think so. I think if you want hand simulation, you're going to have to look at something like Leap Motion. Some sort of human rig. Yeah, Leap Motion would get you that. Could integrate Leap Motion, exactly, Rosa, that's right. Which GPU do I use? 1080 Ti. Anyone heard of HP Omen? I guess that's a PC, right? Yes, I've heard of the HP Omen. It's good for X-Plane, that's good. It depends on which GPU and CPU you got in there. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome, Valens. You're welcome for the stream. Yeah, check out that top 10 questions video. That's something that I think will help a lot of people for sure. All right, so that was a quick pattern there. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to change planes. Okay, I like that. I want to fly that Ultralight. They've got this new Ultralight. So let me go to. Let me see. Just make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. All right, I'm going to go to Menu, and I'm going to go to Flight Configuration, and then I'm going to scroll down right here. This Ultralight. Okay, let me just customize. Make sure it's running. Yep. Okay. Start new flight. Start new flight. Now I should be at Key West, and I should be in this little Ultralight, which is Aerolite 103. I just did a video on this if you want to check it out. It's a cool little plane.
Clear for Vector 324.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Valens, I appreciate the follow, man. Thank you very much. All right. Let me get to we're in this guy here. This is the Aero. Let me just see if I can teleport outside here so you can take a look at it. And there he is, a aluminum frame Ultralight. Really cool looking little plane. There's the back of it. Tiny little gas tank. Looks like it holds about 5 gallons of gas. Looks like a little lawnmower engine. Okay. It's got the nylon rudder and tail, nylon wings and elevators, and you can see my ailerons right there. Where is it? Right there. There's my ailerons right there, and there's my elevators, and there's my rudder. Okay, pretty cool. But we're going to jump in this guy, and we're going to give him a flight. So let me just get in here, get myself centered, and you got to have the centering button. It's really super important. You can see this is still kind of messed up. That's okay. So this comes with 11.20. Now, if you're not into VR, you can fly this in 2D too. Although it's really cool flying it in 3D because there's nothing below you and you can see everything. So, in any event, yeah. Once I get through this, Rosa, I'll get to the 737. That'll be the next thing. I'm just gonna do a quick flight in this guy. All right. So let me get my touches right there. I don't really need to touch to fly this. So let's power this guy up. We'll release the brakes. You got to give like a little left rudder with this thing for some reason. Usually, well, that's because I know why. Because the engine's in the back. Boom! We just popped up like that real quick. All right, cool. And that's the Aerolite. Very cool to fly. It's like flying a kite. But you really get a sense of VR, man. It's awesome. I mean, I should say a sense of the 3D, like the depth. That's the one thing that's hard to describe. You guys really can't see what I see, but you get a full sense that I am, what am I? What's my altitude? I'm like a couple hundred feet above sea level. And I get the feeling like I am definitely a couple hundred feet above sea level. Just flying around Key West Airport here. Show you the outside. There it is. Pretty cool. So I'm just flying right around Key West here. Hold on one second, guys. I took the dog out at 3 o'clock. Okay. Yes, I will. Just give me a few minutes. All right, so let me... Again, I just wanted to give you a sense. This is a pretty simple plane. I'm not even sure if it has a radio. Doesn't look like it has a radio. So it's more or less like a scenic kind of thing. It's got a simple compass, or it's like a powered glider basically. But it's fun to fly, and it comes with 11.20. So even if you're not upgrading to VR or running VR, you can fly this plane. All right. So that's that guy. Now let's get to the 737. We'll go to config and let me go to 737. Make sure that's running. Okay, we'll just go to the American Airlines. Start new. Now, we'll see how this does frame rate wise. I might have to change the settings. We'll see. Because each plane is going to be independent, although it looks pretty good. Let me check my frame rates. Yeah, I'm in the low to mid 40s. I might get a little bit of judder. But we are in the 737. Now, I don't know how to fly this thing. I mean, I can fly it enough to take off. Okay, so don't. Let me get outside here. Find the teleporting's a little like I can't just. Here we go. Let's go here. Where's my plane? There we go. There it is. That looks impressive. That looks impressive. That's impressive. Wow. That's really, really cool. Go up by the wing over here. That is really cool. It looks like the size of a jet. I mean, it looked like a 737 as I'm standing right here. I mean, that engine is massive. Massive. Very cool. All right, let's get in the cockpit. Now, you wanted to see if we could get inside the... I'm not sure if we can get inside the... Let me just see if I can do that. No, I don't think I can get in the back. Where am I? Here we go. I'm not able to get in the back, unfortunately. Let me just check the views to make sure that's this chase, ride along, cockpit. Let's go to... There's the ride along view. But it won't let me... It won't let me teleport inside the plane. Inside the back of the plane. Just in the cockpit. Unfortunately. Sorry about that. Maybe they'll do that someday. Who knows? Let's see. You can't install any add-ons because you are a beta tester. You can always install... No, that's not the reason why. I just don't want to yet. I'm not going to install anything until I know that the thing is stable. I just want to run it pure because that way I can, if I do encounter anything, I can let them know about it. I could put add-ons in here if I wanted to. But I'm just not going to be able, not going to do that. And here's the thing: this release just came out, so I would say that the people that create the add-ons are going to have to make sure that they're compatible, because that's the way it works. I've already chatted with the guy who does XP Realistic, and he's waiting and planning on, you know, making sure things are compatible. But we're gonna have to be patient with that, you know. All right, so let's see if we could take this guy for a little cruise here. Now let me just show you. So again, I'm starting to get some judder here. You see my frame rates. Yeah, I'm going now 35, 38. I'm going in the, I just went going to the low 40s here, so we're getting a little judder. I might have to redo this, so I can change my crossfeed. Oh, let me just see, where's the lights? Because that's easy to do. You can see that judder? That's because I probably should be running this at medium, so let me just do that. So I'm going to go to my flight configuration, and we're going to go to graphics settings, and we're going to knock this down. At least we're going to knock, I'm going to have to restart X-Plane. I'm going to knock these down to medium. Done. Just wait for that to kick in. It's going to change the visuals. Maybe that'll help. We'll see. But if not, I'm going to have to restart so that the textures restart. Yeah, I think we're going to. Now, it would be nice, like right here, there's no meter. No, so you have no idea how long it's going to take. All right, so there's, let me just see how we're doing frame rate wise. We're popping down into the 30s, which isn't good. All right, I'm going to restart X-Plane. So let me go to the menu. Let me go to main menu. I'm going to go to quit X-Plane. Yes, quit. Okay, and then let me just restart. The reason for my question was to see if you get decent frame rates with add-ons or need to. Well, the thing about Arusu is that there's so many different add-ons. I mean, which ones do you test first, right? There's, you know, hundreds of different add-ons, so it's not something that I'm going to be able to really do for people, because it would be too time consuming. So, you know, my objective is to test things the way they are. So let's go to new flight. We're in Key West. We're in that guy. Let's do start. Yeah, I mean, think about it. There's, you know, hundreds of add-ons, right? Plane command. I mean, I'm going to start with the basic ones, like you're going to need plane command, right? I'll probably install plane command because that would be really nice to have, because I can't use a mouse. But, you know, I'm not going to put in like some of the other ones that can clutter things up. I'm probably not going to put those in. The ones that I used before. Yeah, well, plane command I would definitely use in here. XP Realistic when the developer says it's ready. So that's the thing. I want to, you know, I'm not going to put them in there until I know the developers have tested with 11.20. Why should I, you know, take the risk of that? All right, so right now, I just lowered myself to medium, and I've got plenty good frame rates. Okay? So let's take off in this baby. Again, I don't know how to fly this plane, so... I know I probably want to put my flaps down. And we'll release the brakes. We're running at 90%, so we'll release the brakes, and let's get her go. Very smooth. It feels like like you would see like in a real simulator, like a real aircraft simulator. That's the kind of smoothness you see. Never saw that in flying side. It was always a little bit rickety. All right, we're getting our speed up here. And we'll rotate. There we go. Get that gear up. Get those flaps up. And we are flying. Super smooth. Super smooth. Cockpit looks really, really nice too. Very, like, I can read everything. Pretty much everything I can read. And I'm at medium settings. So that's a 737. Very nice. Let's take a look outside. That looks cool. We're getting a little bit of judder. That's a weird artifact right there. There's like a dark cloud right there. That's weird. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like this dark cloud in the water. Looks really strange. But those are the kind of things you're going to see, you know, there's weird reflections. So I'll have to report that. That looks like a reflection of the, it's like a doubling of the landmass there. You see as it moves up there, it's like a mirror reflection of that landmass. Okay. It's like a ghosting, like a ghost thing. I have to remember that. I'll report that. So yeah, I mean, these are the kinds of things I'm doing. I have some time. I'm flying around and just, you know, testing things out and seeing if I could break it, you know, and just reporting back. But that's why, you know, as I mentioned in the top 10 video, I just put up top 10 questions. If you're going to try this out, it's really important that you install a second instance of X-Plane. You want to keep your current instance, you know, because I've read some people having to uninstall Fly Inside to use it. If you know, it doesn't take up much space to install North America and a second version of a second install of X-Plane. Yeah, that ghosting is really bad, really bad. So we're gonna have to. Now I'm at 4,500 feet. Doing a major bank here. It's the first time I've ever seen that. It just went away. No, it's still there. But yeah, I mean, no judder in the head movement at all, which is good. That's why I said medium visuals and medium texture are kind of like your go-to. At least for me, that's my go-to. And I have a pretty beefy system. Now you got to remember, with X-Plane 11 current form with OpenGL, a higher rated GPU is not going to get you that much more than like the baseline, GTX 170. It's not, if you get a 1080 Ti, it doesn't get you that much more frame rate. We're pretty high up here, 10,000. Looking cool. I got rid of that ghosting stuff, which is good. I think I did. Let me just bank down here. Yeah. Oh, there it is. A little bit of ghosting. You can see all the Florida Keys there. So realistic, and I can't wait to try this with ortho. I think it's going to be awesome. Probably be my next test. Okay. All right, let me get back in the Cessna here. Where's my... Oh, I have the SR20. Let me try the SR20. It may break it. We shall see. It may break it. Let's just see what it's like. Now, I tried the B1900D, and that had some really weird visuals out of the front windshield. Unusable. It showed like this tunnel thing, so it's not certified yet with it. But I haven't tried the V-Flight Air SR20, so let me see if that works. While we're doing that, I'll just answer some questions here if you guys got questions. Yeah, thanks, Russo. I appreciate that. I know at least that much about the flaps and the parking brake. It's just I don't know how, I don't know a lot about... oh, look at this. Whoa, that's cool. It works. That's sweet. What kind of rates are we getting? All right, we're getting 39 and in low 40s, so we're going to get a little judder. But I'm very pleased that my favorite GA plane to fly actually works. So let me turn off... oh, do I have a way to... Wow, that's pretty cool. It works. And we're getting mid-40s, so let's just try to fly her. I'm getting some judder with it, but I'm going to tell you something. It looks crystal clear. Much better than flying side. Wow. This is at medium. Wow. I know this plane because I fly a lot in this plane. Let's see if the touch controllers work. Yep, there it goes. See if we can get outside here. Yep. That is so cool. That is so freaking cool, man. Wow. The SR20 works. Nice. Can I get back in? Well, I can get back in like this. I can just go hit my button, and I'm in. That's the easier way to get back in. Now, I'm definitely getting judder here, so I probably have to run this on low. But I'm very pleased this plane works. So let me just holster my touch controller. Get myself centered. And yeah, we're going to have some judder with this guy. You see that? That's the judder that you don't want right there. I probably have to run this on low because we're... Yeah, let's just see what happens here. Yeah, we're getting pretty bad judder. I have to run this on low. But the good news is I can fly it. See, that's the judder you don't. That's the judder you don't want. Some people call it stuttering. It's called judder. We are in the air. SR20 does work with 11.20 in VR. And if I lower this to... Well, you know what? Let's just do it. Because I would like to confirm right now. Then I'm probably going to have to go, guys. So let me go to this guy here. And I'm going to go to low. Okay. Done. Resume flight. But let me go to... sorry. No, I want to go to main menu. I want to quit X-plane. Because you have to restart for the texture to take hold. So let me get my X-plane reloaded here. Uh-oh. This is Steam Home. It's not what I... Oh, I know why I'm in there, because X-plane's loading. Show you guys Steam Home. This is what Steam Home looks like. Pretty cool. All right. Now, I also, just to remind, I've got my Oculus set at 1.7 super sampling. So that's going to give me a little bit better visuals. And you too, an Oculus Mirror, as what you're seeing, is going to be a little bit better. All right, so new flight. We're doing with that guy. We're going to start new flight. I'm hoping that at low settings, we don't get any judder. Let's just hope. Now right here, I need some sort of meter. You need some sort of meter because people like to have meters to know a progress meter so we know how long it's taking. All right, so that needs to be translated into this space, which is basically, it's like Steam VR limbo right here, what you're seeing. You're waiting here for whatever application that you're running to come into the headset. So on the screen, my screen, I can see the X-plane. My monitor, I can see the X-plane thing, and I'm showing me progress. And here we go. It's reading new scenery files, and hopefully shortly here we'll be into it. But we need that progress bar. Maybe they can't do it. I'm not sure. But it would be nice to have a progress bar. All right, so now we're back in here again. We're at Key West. I sense that the judder is gone. Yes, we're definitely in the mid-40s. Let me turn off the reflections. That I can do that. That's great. All right, so getting a little judder there. No, even in low, we have a little bit of a problem. Okay, well, maybe that's something that has to be fixed, but the good news is the plane operates and works. It's just that it's not optimized yet for 11.20. But it's better than the Carinata B1900D. I couldn't even get that to really have any visuals out of the front. So, all right, let me get back out of here. Oh, did that calm down? No. Let's go to this guy here. So remember, we're in low settings now. Wow, so even this right now, this plane at low settings is giving me problems. So maybe there's some sort of frame rate creep or something. I don't know. It seemed to be fine, or I'm at a different area of the runway. Not sure. Well, here's the test. Let me go to the G1000 and let me go to I was over here. Yeah, see that? So now it's different depending on where you are in the map. So on the other side of that runway, I guess because we're closer to the autogen, it was getting more judder. So it's really dependent on where you are in the map and which kind of plane you're trying to fly. So let me just see something here. Let me see if I can get my this guy. Determined to get the SR20 going here. It's taking a little while to load here. All experimenting. Fun to experiment. Only have a few more minutes left, guys. I just wanted to get on here real quick and show you guys the beta version. Let me just see where I am here. That looks better. Let me see if I could take this guy off here. Fly a quick little shot here. Here we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. Boy, definitely get a sense of head bobbing, that's for sure. All right, 75 will rotate. I just took off with no flaps. But everything's pretty smooth. Now we're at low setting, so... But it seems to be better taking off that way than it is the other way. You can see it's definitely low. I mean, you know, the Donovan Young's name on there is like low res. So I'm not sure if that's Wow, stereo. You have like stereo audio. That's different. The audio is in stereo, like really in stereo. When I turn my head over here, I only hear the engine from my right ear. If I turn my head this way, I hear the engine in my left ear. Because it's in front of me, which makes sense. Right now I hear it in both ears. That's pretty cool. Let's just land right here. Wow, it's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, everything is a little, I mean, flying on low res, I mean, I can't see the stitching in the dashboard and stuff. I can read everything pretty well, but little things are, you got to be at least minimum, I'm sorry, medium. You got to be at medium. So I'm going to let the V-Flight Air guys know that it works, that it just needs to be optimized. But that's good to know. If I can get this at medium, I'd be really set. As time goes by, all our favorite airplanes are going to be compatible. It's just going to take some time for the third-party guys to do their thing. All right, well, I'm happy that I'm successfully able to fly the V-Flight Air SR20, and that's pretty cool. Just wish it was in higher res, but we'll get there. Anyway, well, guys, I think that's just going to about do it for me. If you guys don't have any further questions, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. It's, I should have it on here. Let me just see if that... For some reason, my chat commands aren't working. The Nightbot stuff isn't working. Let me just see if that's... No. So here's my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check it out, let me just get it up here.
Since the 1980s, PC flight simulation has seen continuous technological advances.
So here's my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. Check that out. I've got a couple of videos on X-Plane 11.20. Might be helpful. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Woot TCV15. Thanks for stopping by. Guys, thanks for the follows. And I'm going to put this up on YouTube probably later today or tomorrow so people can watch it. I do appreciate it, guys. Listen, enjoy 11.20 and be careful with it. You know, remember, it is a beta, so you got to expect there's going to be some problems. Hey, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.